The 2023 NFL season is finally upon us, which means that double move game previews are back. The Dallas Cowboys are headed to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants in prime time on Sunday Night Football. The last time we saw these two teams meet was on Thanksgiving Day in 2022, ending in a Cowboys 28-20 victory, claiming their sweep over the Giants. The season that was 2022 would be good to both the Cowboys and Giants. Both teams made the playoffs, both teams finished with winning records, the Cowboys at 12-5 and the Giants at 9-7 respectively. But on Sunday, both teams begin the year at 0-0 with a chance to kick the season off on a good note. So here is everything you need to know about the Cowboys Week 1 matchup against the New York Giants, plus how I think this game is going to go and my score prediction at the end of this video. So let's get into it. Dak Prescott will once again lead a talented Cowboys offense in what will be year number 8. The vested veteran will have to try and put a 15 interception year behind him and start out hot in 2023. Dak Prescott has led high-flying Cowboys offenses in recent memory, with Dallas ranking as the top scoring offense with him under center multiple times. But this time around, he'll have a new play caller in his ear. Kellen Moore has moved on, Mike McCarthy has taken over the offensive duties, which brings along a bit of uncertainty. But he should be able to figure it out with the weapons he'll have at his disposal. Things in the Cowboys' backfield have shifted quite a bit. Tony Pollard will get a majority of the workload, with guys like Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and Hunter Lipke maybe getting a few opportunities as well. Expect Pollard to be the featured guy. While the running back room certainly offers explosive playability, I'm most excited to watch a revamped Dallas receiving core. The Cowboys added pass catcher Brandon Cooks this offseason. The 1,000-yard machine is expected to fill the Cowboys wide receiver 2 role behind CeeDee Lamb. Then at wide receiver 3 and 4, you have Michael Gallup and third-round pick Jalen Tolbert. Both guys I expect to play much better than we saw in 2022. With Lamb fully taking over the wide receiver 1 role, Cooks being a catch machine, Gallup getting back healthy, and Tolbert finding himself as an NFL player, this wide receiver room is back to being one of the strengths of this team, and something that I think the Giants defense is going to have a hard time stopping. Wait, only 17.7% of you that watched any video last month were actually subscribed to the channel. That means that 82.3% of you have not hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow the family here at Double Move Football, so if you haven't yet, go down there, hit subscribe. Now, let's continue with the video. While we've had discussions about the Cowboys' offensive line being thin, their starting 5 is great, with Smith, Biotish, Martin, and Terrence Steele. That group is going to be good in both the run game and passing game. I'm not worried about them in week 1. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy, and this group can dominate like we've seen in the past. While the Cowboys' offense is talented, they'll have their work cut out for them against a stingy Giants defense led by Wink Martindale. There are a couple of guys that we need to keep our eye on this Giants defense. Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams are going to make life difficult in the middle of that line, both in the run game and the pass game. The Cowboys will have to watch Kayvon Thibodeau, who is a talented young pass rusher, with Xavier McKinney, a quality safety, lurking on the back end of that defense. Although the Giants are talented and scrappy, I think that the Cowboys offense overwhelms their defense with talent. So if Dallas can stay ahead of the chains, they should be able to move the ball well against this defense. But what will the Cowboys defense look like taking on a New York offense? For the first time in a long time, the Cowboys defense is probably the strongest unit on this team. And to me, that's saying a lot because the Cowboys offense isn't too shabby either. This unit, led by Dan Quinn, has led the NFL in takeaways 2 years in a row. The first time since the 70s that a team has been able to accomplish that feat. But taking the ball away hasn't been their lifeline. The talented group boasts a serious pass rush, solid corners on the outside, and a hard-hitting safety room. All 3 levels of the Cowboys defense is solid, with very few weak spots to point out. Of course, Defensive Rookie of the Year Micah Parsons poses a threat rushing the passer. Trayvon Diggs, a ball hawk on the outside, will look to make life hard on Daniel Jones. On the opposite side of Diggs, you have 2015 Defensive Player of the Year in Stephon Gilmore, and covering for them over the top is Donovan Wilson, Jaron Kearse, and Malik Hooker. In 2022, the Cowboys defense ranked 6th in opponents' points per game, 3rd in opponents' points per play, 5th in opponents' red zone scoring, and 4th in opponents' touchdowns per game with just 2. The unit could have been even better in 2022 if it had plugged its leaky run game. The Cowboys re-signed Jonathan Hankins from last year, drafted a big body in Mozzie Smith, and looked to get a third-year leap out of Osa Odigizua. This is the first time I can remember being legitimately excited about a Cowboys defense heading into the season. This game won't be an easy one. They'll be in charge of shutting down the Giants' offense. For the Giants, the most important position in all of football will be manned by Daniel Jones. Last season, Jones threw 15 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions with a 135.6 passer rating. While Jones took care of the ball throughout the year, reducing his interceptions and fumbles, it also reduced the offense's big plays. They were one of the least explosive offenses in all of football. And according to Pro Football Focus, Jones had 24 big-time throws in 2020, but in 2022, he completed just 7 big-time throws through 17 games. Needless to say, the Cowboys likely won't have to worry about Jones lighting it up through the air, but rather watch him take a conservative approach that reduces the risk of turnovers, breeds clean football, and helps him play behind the run game of Saquon Barkley, which is what Dallas should be keying on in this game. Saquon, who had one of his best seasons as a pro in 2022. The now 6th-year running back still poses a threat to this Dallas defense out of the backfield. Last year, he averaged 4.5 yards per carry while rushing for over 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. With Barkley seemingly the healthiest he's been in his career, it'll be up to the Dallas defense to bottle him up. Barkley still poses home run speed, and shutting him down could be the key to winning this game. But shutting down Barkley won't be the only way to win, because the Giants added a pretty big threat this offseason in Darren Waller. While Waller hasn't really been healthy since 2020, he will be for this game, which means he's going to make life hard on your linebackers and safeties. The 6'6" tight end can gash you down the seam, make plays underneath, and overall be a nuisance to any defense. I suspect that Waller's going to be a favorite target of Jones early and often, whether that be through play designs or just his reads. Dallas is going to have to find an answer to Waller, and my guess is that Jaron Kearse will be just the guy for the job. Overall, the Giants' offense does possess the potential to gash you for big plays, but shutting down a few key pieces like Daniel Jones throwing underneath, Darren Waller and Saquon Barkley, you could stifle the offense completely. Now that we've completed the preview, let's look at my final score prediction for this game. I have the Cowboys winning 24 to the Giants 20. Don't be surprised if you see the Cowboys offense struggling early in this game with Mike McCarthy now the play caller. I expect this unit to have to knock off a little bit of rust, get used to the different pieces moving around, and that could take about a half of football to really get under control. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Cowboys offense come out a bit flat to start the game, and them have just 3 to 7 points at halftime. But I do expect them to pick it up as time goes on. I still think that the Cowboys are better than the Giants on both sides of the ball by a pretty good bit. For me, the Cowboys win their first game of the season, beat a division rival, and go ahead and check off an NFC East win. This is definitely an interesting game in week 1, so I want to hear your score predictions down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I love you all. Bye.